Hello. Hopefully nothing will crash today. Yes, am I aware of the issue yesterday with my phone overheating and then crashing halfway through the recording of my vlog when I was talking quite passionately about the new Predator film and some of those tasty Easter eggs that are in there. I'll cover that. I think tomorrow. I will talk about the new Predator film and my thoughts a little bit more expansively than I did yesterday, and hopefully that will be stable because I should be here. Now, today has been something of a good day thus far, at least. Why? All of the issues that I've been having with the video, at least, I'm 95% of the way there. There is only one thing that I'm not 100% sure on that involves audio, getting the video out of the stream one. So you will recall, I talked a lot, ranted, you might say, whinged, whatever, about not being able to have one monitor as the pass through how I wanted, which you should be able to do, and I couldn't quite figure it out. I've now managed to resolve that. I'm not sure what the issue was. Like I say, my logic was sound. What I was trying to do, I drew some diagrams, figured out all of the inputs and outputs. That was really helpful, and it's let me kind of do a number of other things. So now this is my main face cam. Oh, before I go into this, I've actually simplified the setup as well. I've now removed the screen that I had up here, that little 7-inch one, because I don't need that anymore. I can use multi-view on my second monitor, which lets me figure out what all the shots are. I can have that if I don't want to show my desktop. So I can now go from my primary camera up here, the S9 with the 9mm lens on. I can go to my other camera down here, which I haven't got set up now, but I can have this floating around, doing whatever, following me. I can then also cut to this camera. Not as good because this is a webcam streaming through the auxiliary in here, but I could have a third camera up here. Not got that at the moment, but in time, perhaps that will be a thing. And then should I want to share my screen with you, I can actually share this screen, what I'm showing you here, and do the picture-in-picture that I wanted to do before, or have this one up here and then talk about what's actually on the screen at the same time. I can then, of course, I can come back to the pattern, or I can indeed fade or cut back and forwards, everything as it was supposed to be. The screen over here now, I can have this. I'm not sure if it'll show as I would do, but I can have it as my secondary desktop, which is great because it's still showing as a secondary desktop. Or I can have it as the multi-view coming out, which I'm not sure the multi-view will come out over this. It shouldn't do really, but that is giving me an overview of what all of the cameras and the desktop are showing in real time. And that is exactly what I wanted to do. I'm still kind of figuring out and getting there with it, but this is a massive step forward in how it's working for me. Just being able to get rid of one of those screens is a help. It's also let me get rid of the, unless I'm using it for as a reference monitor. I'm not using the iPad now either. Unless I'm editing, in which case, yes, that is the standard reference monitor that we use to make sure all the colors look the same at work. That's fine. So this has let me remove a number of things, utilize that webcam, which is great. Really kind of start to get to grips with the stream one. The next thing that I need to do is figure out getting the audio out of this into the Rodecaster and going from there so that the Rodecaster is not just a very expensive desk ornament as it is at the moment. So this is huge for me. I'm not entirely sure what the problem was. I think it was an issue with a cable because it was only a directional cable instead of a bi-directional cable, and that was causing some gubbins in the signal chain that was causing the issue. But that seems to be resolved now. I'm going to document all of this tomorrow after work, once the little one's in bed, get the diagrams down pat so I know everything that's going where. Once the audio's done, then I can format everything, set it all up from scratch, fresh, and I will be then happy that should anything go completely like mental, I can reset up everything and I entirely understand end to end. So this is one of the important things for me, and this is what I tell my students as well. Having this sort of experience, having that frustration, figuring it out, hitting your head against the wall, having to go backwards and forwards, rather than asking somebody else and leaning on somebody else for the answers. This is exactly where actual learning comes from, and what your upskilling looks like. And this is absolutely where you should be, what you should be doing if it's something that you're interested in. It should be hard. It shouldn't be easy. You should have to invest time, money, effort into doing something, because when you do it and then it works and you figure it out and you understand it, it's not just accidental. You've not just followed somebody's YouTube video on how to do it. You actually understand what it is that you're doing and why you've done it, what went wrong, why it went wrong, and what you've done to resolve that. Or even in this case, perhaps it wasn't what went wrong, it was my lack of knowledge about unidirectional and bidirectional cables and how the signal interfacing worked. I think that was the problem. It was a me issue. So this has been very, very beneficial in terms of that upskilling process that I can then take, hopefully, into my day job, and that will help me progress career-wise. So yeah, a little bit of a different video today, but it's been a positive one. And the weather's somewhat nicer, so I'm hoping to get out. The other thing to talk about is I got a replacement desk stand for the monitor that arrived yesterday. I put it in place yesterday and it got sent back today. It was atrocious. The build quality was not worth the money that I paid for it. Also, I think the height was perhaps a little bit too high. So I need to rethink what I'm going to do in terms of that project. Part of it is just to clean the desk up, but the desk isn't as offensively busy now that I've managed to remove 2 screens from it. But we'll see how that goes longer term, I think. Right, I'm going to leave it for there today. Looking forward to talking about the new Predator film tomorrow. I'll revisit that trailer again. And let's see how it goes. Warhammer tonight, so happy times. Trying my new Spearhead, the Death Rattles. That'll be fun. Right, I will see you all on the other side. Have a good one, and see ya.